Hi, everybody, and welcome to the final round of the British Online Chess Championships. We are going to be following all the action. It's very close at the top and got a lot of exciting games for you. So I'll first of all share the pairings. If I get onto the right page. There we go. Right. And so we have on board one Keith Arkle against Ayan Mohammed Ismail. We have Freddie Gordon on board two against Mickey Adams. And if you want to see a lovely interview of Freddie, we interviewed him yesterday and went through his game against Keith. Please do watch the interview. It's really nice.
It's lovely. It's really lovely, and you'll be, I think, quite amazed at the,
I'll probably again later in the stream.
At Freddie's strength and at the way that he talks about chess. It's really, I was deeply impressed. I really was.
Yeah. Okay, board three, we have Yichin Han against GM Bogdan Lalic. Board four, we have Paul Dargan, not flush, against Edison Zhu. Board five, Ahmet Abbas against Ollie Stubbs. And board six, George Gazis against Chris Duncan. Board seven, we have Phil Brooks against Adam Sikowski. Board eight, Robert Starley, Ferrari fan, against Shlok Verma. Board nine, Tashika Aurora against Jonathan Mackay. Board 10, Olga Lakitipova against Steve Willison. Then we have Yong Wang against Theo Cowrie and Spencer Lawrence against Pracha Aurora. So that is our next month. It's just starting, so I'm going to share the screen.
Well, people can hear the
tantalizing and hear the moves. Okay, so Keith Arkle against Diamond Orr. I'm just going to wind it back to the start of the game. And it's a Queen's Gambit declined. An opening that Keith has had very many times before.
Already in this tournament, most notably against Yichin Han, in actual fact. So, going to be, can't be a surprise for Diamond Orr. Can't ever be a surprise for Diamond Orr this opening, I think. So we're going to see what he's come up with against Keith's favourite pawn structure.
Okay, let's go on to Frederick the Mate against.
Oh, good lord! Look at that opening.
Yes, I've seen this opening only today. So this is let's have it on the board. So Freddie the Mate has gone for it's kind of old and modern opening. It's the two knights.
Indeed. Yeah.
And it's this very tactical, aggressive line. I say it's old and modern because it's been played for a long time, but then there's new moves as you get further down the line.
Indeed. Bishop d3 now. Yeah, Bogolubov played Queen f3 in this position, which was but this is really following mainline theory. This is fantastic.
Yeah.
So knight d5, knight f3, bishop d6, castles, knight f4. This is all known, funnily enough, from
this is Alpha Zero Stockfish, right? Oh, sorry, Stockfish Alpha Zero.
That's right. And
Stockfish, in the Stockfish Alpha Zero, so Stockfish was white and Alpha Zero was black in this line.
Indeed, with Frederick taking the role of Stockfish and Mickey taking the role of Alpha Zero. So, yeah, rook e1, knight takes d3, castles, knight takes e5, c5, knight c3, and I could refer you to Game Changer here for.
We're still following the same line, aren't we?
Yeah, we're still following it. We're still following it here.
So both sides know their theory here, and now I'm trying to remember how it went. So black got these raking bishops across the board,
indeed.
And two pawns. So Freddie's taken the 2 pawns. And I can't even remember how it went now. It was like a bishop b7 and
bishop b7, b3, and then rook e8, knight c4, knight takes c4.
Let's put it on the board and then we'll see if we get exactly this. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. So it was bishop b7, which is a very natural move, and now b3. There's been other things as well, but this was what Stockfish did against Alpha Zero. Rook e8, and then knight c4, and then knight takes c4.
That's right. So Alpha Zero swapped off its kind of hello, Wolfan.
Hey,
And
well, good to see
takes,
you. Lovely to see you in the stream. So yeah, if D takes C4, then this is actually winning for black already. Queen H4. And then we've got a couple of moves here. We could play guess the tactic really. We're attacking H2, so G3 is one idea, and guess the tactic here. Well, Queen H3.
no.
Queen H3.
Oh, sorry. No, you can do something. You can do better than that.
Yeah, we can go. We've go Knight D5 then and block you, but we've got a much stronger move there. We've got Bishop takes G3 here. So H takes G3 is Queen H1 mate, and then F takes G3 is Queen D4 check. Rook E3, chopper runikins takes Queen C3, Rook B1, and Queen E5. Hey, Ocelot, good to see you.
Hi, Ocelot.
This is really strong for black. I mean, you're playing Queen E4 and Queen G2. This, by the way, these were lines from Daniel King on his Power Play site. So he added to what we had in the original Game Changer. And then
this has been known for what? How long ago was that? That would be about a year ago from Danny's site.
About a year ago. Yeah, a year ago. And then also, but after Queen H4, there's another move, which is to play the move H3. And here you can play guess the tactic as well. So
this was a really nice one. Is this one? Can I play?
Four. How do you do? 4,
I'll 3,
2, 1, go. Bishop F3, which is a magnificent move. And so Queen takes F3 allows Rook E1 mate. That's the big problem. And G takes F3. There's just Queen takes H3, and end of story.
Yes. So, but White doesn't have to go into all of this horrible stuff, right?
No. I mean, what after Knight takes C4, what Stockfish did, after Knight takes C4, well, Stockfish is with Rook takes C8. So that's actually diverting the Queen over to E8, so away from H4, and then played B takes C4. I mean, this turned out into a really great game for Alpha Zero. Now I'm just thinking a little bit how it went exactly. I do believe that we went. Was it Rook B8 here, or was it Queen E6 straight away? I'll be able to get you to the right position, but we
did look at this game today, didn't we?
We did look at it today. I can remember the way that it. I think it was Queen E6. It was Queen E6. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Queen E6, Bishop B2, and then the move Rook B8. Just maybe eyeing some little tactics against B2. Black still 2 pawns down. Remember, Knight B5 was played, and this was probably a bad idea from Stockfish, but it didn't look so bad at the time. So Queen G6, Queen F1, Bishop F4, and here Stockfish played Knight takes A7.
Oh yeah, really offside this.
And and this was the big moment. You know, it was 3 pawns up. Stockfish against Alpha Zero, and I mean, threatening bishops, right? I mean, there's but the White Queen is defending, and there's not like immediate threats there. But Alpha Zero played this incredible idea H6, which was just giving its king an escape square, and it meant that after Bishop C3, which is what Stockfish played, Alpha Zero drummed up this incredible attack with Rook A8, Knight B5, Queen H5, hitting H2, H3, and now
Bishop F3 again, wasn't it?
Well, White's threat is to play Queen D1 here. So Alpha Zero went Bishop F3, which was really a pretty stunning move, and Black's intending Rook A6 to G6 basically.
It went like that, and then this, and then we had a lovely.
Right. So, I can show you them. I can show you them, mate. The main line is G3, Rook A6, King H2, Queen H4. So you can't take the Queen, and GF allows Queen takes F4. So Queen G1, Rook G6, And we've got a very huge threat here, which you're going to see in the following variation, which is actually unstoppable. Bishop a5, rook g5, bishop d8, f6. And now if I play something like rook e1, let's just say that one.
It's an sacrifice. Ooh.
Oh, well, I was going to give everyone a chance to find it, but never mind.
No.
Rook h5, and that's mate. And that was a variation from Stockfish Alpha Zero. Stockfish actually just gave up a piece earlier, but lost the ending quite badly. But that is the I think the hottest the hottest theory on this line. There is other stuff as well. White can play other moves as well. But
well, presumably that people have been playing this in real life since then as well.
Yeah, they've been doing other stuff as well. But Freddie's played b3. So
Freddie has played b3.
Indeed. So that's very, very interesting. We're going to see what Mickey comes up with, because rook e8, that would be Stockfish Alpha Zero.
Yeah.
Amazing. So,
okay, Peshka the Great against.
Oh, this one! Wow.
Okay.
Oh, Peshka the Great.
Let's see. So this is a Caracan.
Yeah, funny. So yeah, this is a Caracan Panov, and I mean Bogdan's in a must-win, right? He's in a must-win situation, isn't he, Bogdan? Because he's got 6 points.
Yeah, Bogdan. Let me verify that for you. Yes, 6 points.
Yeah, so this is a really strange variation to choose from that, in my opinion, because we normally we're just going to a queenless middle game, which is known to be slightly better for white, holdable for black. But so it's a bit of a strange one. I mean, there's so many options you've got in the against the Panov, but okay. So but Bogdan went for it. So c takes d5, knight takes d5, queen b3, takes. Knight b6 is possible here if you really want to get it sharp, but okay, e6, queen b7, knight d4, bishop b5 check. So this is all known. I mean, these are hundreds of games in this line, but also the game Fischer-Erver from a very long time ago. So knight takes b5, queen c6, king e7, but now a very unusual move from Yichin, because queen takes b5 is normal here, and then queen d7, and then queen b5, queen d7, then we go knight takes d5, queen takes d5, queen d5 ed, and it's just a slight
queens are off.
Queens are off. The pawn's a bit weak on d5. The king's a bit exposed, But this is supposed to be a draw, and I'm sure Bogdan knows it very well. But I'm a little bit surprised about this as a choice for black. But yeah, Yichin is spicing this up. I have seen this. I've reviewed a book.
Well, how many points has Peshka got? He's got
5. He's got
5. So he's okay. So anyway, so he's played queen c5. So you know this move, Matthew?
Well, yeah. Actually, just let me get my books. I was writing my book review column for New in Chess, and I saw this move, and I'd never seen it before, but it was analysed here. So
okay, which book was it in?
It's called Lars Schandorf Playing the Caracan.
Okay,
he's a very good analyst, Lars Schandorf.
Yep.
Queen c5 check. Oh, okay. So it says this stunning idea was unknown until Grishuk, oh good lord, used it to beat Vidit at the 2016 World Rapid Championship. So it's got that pedigree really. So knight d6 is the normal move. I think we're still following theory here. Takes d5. And now, crazily enough, king d7 is a possible idea here for black. Just waiting one move before recapturing that that knight. But e takes d5 is the main line. Queen castles, indeed.
Yeah.
Queen c8, but Bogdan
had a big think for queen c8.
Okay, interesting, because but Bogdan seems to know it. He's playing the normal, but maybe this line isn't sharp in his memory, because queen takes d5, queen b7.
Yeah. So this is still theory then.
Oh, this is we're we are just at the beginning of the theory now. Actually,
the beginning of the theory.
Yeah, no, there's lots of analysis on this, but I mean, Queen E5 check has been played. Queen H5 is possible, and even Bishop G5 check. But probably the main moves are Bishop G5 check and Queen E5. So this is really interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what Yichun Han does, whether he's got something new up his sleeve, whether something very recent has occurred in this line that he knows about.
Indeed. Hi, Waldsman.
Yeah, he got a bit. Yeah, it's well, Yichun's been playing fantastically at times, and then I mean, we saw it in the junior bullet. He started with 6 out of 6, then lost 3, then won his last 6. You know, he seems to be having these amazing streaks where he's playing really, really well. Yeah. So you know, it's
he is really the new under 18 champion, actually. So he came first in the under 18s, just half a point ahead of Jonathan Mackay, who's also playing in this tournament. So well done to Yichun for that. Let's see how this game goes, because so the book you are reviewing, Matthew, is it already published?
Yeah, already published.
Yeah. But the players might have that book.
Yeah.
And there's a whole lot of theory on this.
Yeah, no, that's right.
We'll see.
It's very, very interesting. It's wow. Yeah. Okay. This is. But judging from Bogdan's think there, he needs some time to gather his thoughts and sort of think of the theory. But it didn't have too long a think. He only thought 4 minutes there. So you know, it's not like you know, he was totally surprised, I think. So
yeah. Okay. Let's see. Nut flush against Edson Zhu.
Okay. B22.
Sicilian B22. Okay. Well, now people who are regulars in the chat will know that Nut Flush's name in our chat is B22, C3 Sicilian. So that is the opening we are expecting. C3.
With a little transposition, probably Paul sort of noticed that Yichun always plays that Edson always plays 2e6, so he just gave it a go with a slight transposition there. So it just cuts down black's options, really. So actually, we got a French here, more or less, a French opening here, which is going to be a slight edge for white. But actually, looking at how black has played it, this might end up being a bit more for white, actually, I think. Because bishop b5, knight f6, short castles, bishop b7. Sorry, the old Bologan always comes back. D-Take, you've got to, if you listen to some Bologan DVDs, then he's always short castles.
Yes, I would recommend it.
Castles, and then b4. So a5 and a3. So Paul is really trying to hold this extra pawn. And do you know? I think he might succeed. Okay. So, I mean, a takes b4 from is quite natural from black. But then we'll go bishop takes c6. And I don't think you've got anything sneaky there. So I think you're just going to
takes, and then white
back, and then c takes b4. And that is an extra pawn.
I do have a tiny bit of insight into Nut Flush's prep today, which is that he had absolutely no time to prep today. because he was playing in the seniors event in the afternoon and then had guests over. So that's my insight on Nut Flush's prep.
Okay. But he's I think C3 Sicilian, judging from his Twitch name B22 C3 Sicilian, he is quite a fan of the
hopefully he knows it all already. Yeah.
I mean, he played a great game against Mickey, you know, whipping out quite a bit of theory to get a very good position. So yeah, you know, I think he'll be fine with this, and I think White's got a very good position here. You know, it's you normally take that pawn back on c5, you know, whatever happens. But yeah. No,
you just look at the next one, and then we'll quickly whiz back to the top games, and then carry on down the list.
Yeah.
Okay. Amir
H4. Amir Abbas never disappoints with wild attacks in the London system.
Because Amir Abbas plays often in the Quarantine League, doesn't he? In some of the games we commentate on there.
I'm not. Is that true? I'm not.
Yeah. There's Amir. Not every week, but from time to time. Yeah. Okay. I've got a different username on Lichess.
Ah, okay. It's just I'm saying it because I've already seen, I think, H4 a couple of times in the London system from Abbas this tournament. So it's all good fun. It's funny because I'm reviewing a book on the London system as well, and that had a whole chapter on H4 attacks in the London system. So I wouldn't be surprised if Amir is trying to do these guys proud with.
Who wrote that one?
H4. Yeah, I don't know whether this one is known. Let me get my book. Who knew that reading books could be so instructive? So H4 attacks. Attacks.
Which book do you have there, Matthew?
That's quite an interesting one. The London system in 12 practical lessons. Quite a nice one. Thematic exposition of the London system. So I'm just seeing, just for sheer, just checking to see whether H4, this particular move is in there. There's a lot of H4 happening. So I think if you read it, you just get conditioned to
H4,
this specific one isn't in there, but I think it's all the big bad book of H4 attacks. Exactly.
Yeah. Waldman, that needs to be written. That needs to be written.
So and then Bishop G3. Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll see how that goes.
Okay. Good. I'm going to put back to the top games. So Keith Arkle against Diamond. This Queen's Gambit declined, so we were up to somewhere like that.
Hey, Pokeram.
Hello.
So
G6 from Diamond.
Okay.
Is that normal?
Yeah. G6 to go Bishop F5. Actually, Diamond played an interesting plan here. Quite so takes from Keith, always does that. E3, Bishop E6, but here Keith doesn't do his normal quick B4.
Yes.
He after Bishop E6, he waits. And Diamond also avoiding the thing that Keith likes the most, actually, which is Bishop F5 to exchange off a light squared bishop. Which is supposed to be nothing at all for white, but Keith always seems to get a good edge. So Diamond keeping a few more pieces on the board, which I think is a good idea. So knight D7, castles, B4, A5. And now, interesting, B5 from Keith. So this is getting quite sharp already, actually. C5.
So this is a bit out of the normal positional lines you might get in this opening.
Yeah, I mean, Diamond sharpened this up quite a bit. So so Rook FD1, Rook C8, Rook AC1, Queen C7. I'm sure Queen B1. Queen C7 feels a little bit funny, to be honest. But Queen B1, and now Diamond having a bit of a think. He always spends quite a long time, actually. Hey, Will Sonia, good to see you.
Hello, Sonia.
He always spends quite a bit of time. He's a slightly slow. That you've got faster and slower players. He's a slightly slower player, so I'll expecting him to have a bit of a think here. But yeah, I mean, in principle, this is what Black's doing here. Black's attacked the dark squares and kept his dark squared bishop. So, and yeah, I mean, there are problems for white on the queen side dark squares. However, there's also that weak pawn on d5. So, and at some stage, Diamond going to have to work out what to do about that one. Maybe Rook fd8 or something like that. I think if you keep the tension for a little while, it's not so easy to white maneuver.
You would not, for example, play c4 probably because it closes it up too early.
Now, at some stage you might. If your centre's really rock solid, then you could consider doing that. But I wouldn't do it straight away. I'd keep the tension for a while, maybe go Rook fd8 and then try and work out where to put my queen. I would have put my queen...
I might look at a plan like this as well, once it does get closed.
Could do. I mean, it's the one thing the only thing I'm finding a little bit weird about this is that I would have probably tried to put my queen on e7. That feels like a more natural square for the queen because I've got it opposite the rook here, and I'm not quite sure where I want to put it. So I would have gone queen e7 and then maybe rook fd8 or whatever. So queen c7 is a bit of a funny move for me, but it's not clear. I mean, we'll see how well or how badly that turns out. But that's just the first point where I say, interesting.
Okay.
Oh, so Mickey. Okay, so B3 and knight C6 was played by Mickey. So not rook E8, like
we were
like
oh yes, okay. So Mickey
yeah,
just had a good think, and
Mickey had a good think and played knight C6. Now I wonder, I wonder whether this was maybe just to try and avoid some book, or I don't know. It's because rook E8 is quite a natural move, and certainly the the course of events in the Stockfish Alpha Zero game was that White's knight on E5 got exchanged for the knight on A5, and and that's and that's in principle that felt like a good deal, really, because the knight on A5 was out of the way. And and black was exchanging it and gaining some time as well. So this is quite this is going to be quite interesting here.
Just the account got closed on chess.com, which puts him out of the tournament. I don't really know much more details than that, but I know it's been looked at in great detail by a fair play team. And so that's what's happening there. Hi Tilbs11.
Hi Tilbs, nice emote.
So in the game we were looking at just earlier on for Frederick the Mate and Mickey, one of the possibilities was knight c4 for White when that black knight was still on a5. Would Frederick still want to play that?
Hey, let me think. Now that's an interesting question. I would always, tend to think about taking off that knight on c6 and using the tempo that I've got, basically, because that knight on c6, it can come into d4, which looks like quite a dangerous square. So I'd still be tempted to take
you might actually take it where it is there, like that.
Yeah, that's right. And maybe and then afterwards, got to try and decide what to do. The only thing that that's happened there is that what Mickey has done is obviously in the Alpha Zero line, then after knight c4, knight takes, pawn takes, White had the opportunity to put a knight on d5, for example, to block the bishop. After knight c6, bishop c6 doesn't have that. I do say, do think this position resembles a marshal quite a bit. With the two bishops pointing towards the king and not so much defense. And Mickey's a big expert in the marshal. I mean, in principle, this is this is going to be but of course, any position against Mickey is going to be a challenge. So we'll have to see how it is. I mean, I'm quite tempted after just initial thoughts. After knight takes c6, bishop c6, I'm quite tempted to put my queen onto g4 or to h5, just to try and interfere with the I mean, queen h5
not
maybe.
Not much an attack, but to kind of stop black doing an attack here.
Yeah, that's right. Just to get some control of some squares, stop the black queen from coming in, and then afterwards I'm coming with bishop b2 or bishop a3. I imagine this is still. Well, I'll just have a quick look.
Sure, it is theory. I'm just going to click around on the other games. I thought I heard the sound of someone offering a draw, and I just want to check whether it's Keith.
Oh, good lord!
No, it's not. Just to check the top of the tournament that yes, okay. No draws offered in the top few boards.
Fantastic. Yeah, it's always you hear that to plunk, and then you sort of think,
it could be one of the boards, but it could be any of them. Yeah.
Where is that? It's but it's a very nice. I mean, I like this game very much. It's a big theoretical matchup, this one. So it's I think a very good thing to do as a young player. To take on one of the world's best players in a sharp variation. I think that's
why not? Yeah.
But let's have a look. Knight c6 was played in not particularly I'd say strong over the board game. Probably average of the players was 2250. I'm just going to have a look in my correspondence database because I can do that and just see whether this has been played, because this is often the case. It's never been played. I think we're looking at, let me just have a look in my engine database to see whether this has ever been played.
So many databases.
So many databases. Yeah, it's true. No games found. So I think we're looking at something pretty new from Mickey.
Yeah, relatively new territory then, this game.
Yeah. So
would make it very interesting.
Big theoretical battle there. And as I said, my initial my initial thought in this line is to play knight takes c6, because you take a knight, you gain a tempo, and then you can do something. And yeah, queen g4, queen h5. Yeah, I mean that's my initial thought, and I think depending how that sort of goes in my thoughts, that would determine really whether I looked at anything else or whether I
Yeah. Freddie has 2 extra pawns. White does black does have these 2 lovely bishops pointing this direction, and that's kind of the imbalance there in the position.
Yeah, I mean, the whole question is going to be, how quick can black be? Because I think what Mickey's plan is not to go rook e8; it's to go f5 in this position.
Okay.
And then bring the rook into f6 to h6. That's going to be the main plan. That's why I was sort of wondering. Oh, well done, Ocelot.
Ocelot beat at 22-42. Fantastic.
Brilliant. I mean, that's why I was wondering about going queen g4, because then after f5,
queen g4 instead.
Yeah, I mean, that was just one thought. After f5, I can go queen c4 check, and then king over, and then yeah, I don't know. I've got another tempo, but here I don't know. I mean, you've got queen g5 coming in, which looks really quite annoying here.
So this could get very dangerous. Maybe. No, I was going to say white could defend by bringing the rook up, but actually these bishops cover these squares as well as this, and this.
Yeah. So I mean, queen h5 is maybe not. Probably queen g4 is just a stupid move, I guess. Queen h5 is not so stupid. The idea being that if you go g6, then I'm stopping your pieces aren't able to go round to the your rook can't get to g6. But that's why I think you'll go f5 after queen h5. That would be my my thought.
Just f5 straight away.
Yeah, and then here we have to have a little think about, is this anything at all for white, or am I just putting my pieces in the way of the attack, which is not impossible either. I mean, what have you got? Bishop b2 is possible, maybe bishop a3, but bishop b2, rook f6.
What about rook e6 to try and...
that's an interesting move. It's just that you're a little bit short of because if you're doing it without,
you want to get the bishop out first, don't you? So that the back ranks.
Yeah, and then rook e6 would be good. But I think here you go rook f6 with black, and I'm wondering a little bit about this. I'm a tad nervous. I mean, I'm getting threatened with rook h6 here as well, and it looks like the queen's maybe just totally in the way. I mean, you never.
One more idea then. Instead of queen h5.
Indeed.
What about knight e4? Yeah,
here I was thinking bishop e5.
Oh, and I'm not going to have time to play.
No, you go rook b1, I go queen d3, and I don't know. I was assuming that this was going to be a bit irritating.
Yeah.
So okay. So after knight c6, so if we just look at knight c6 again.
Yes, knight c6.
There. I mean, one other idea here. So knight takes c6. Not 100% clear, right? About what the follow-up is. One idea instead would be to go knight f3 instead of
knight c6.
Yeah, just go knight f3. Just with the idea of defending, and I'm just going to go bishop b2, bishop a3 again. And then what could black do here? I mean, black's got a few moves. Black could go knight b4, which is one idea. Bringing the knight in, looking to get into d3, which is, you need to find a decent reply to that. Black could also play f5, in that position instead of knight b4. So instead of knight b4, play f5. That's also completely possible. So yeah, this is quite sharp. And otherwise, if not knight f3 or knight takes c6, we could go knight c4. I mean, that's possible. Knight c4 here feels a bit, I don't know, just giving away that d4 square. It feels a bit nerve-wracking, really. I mean, bishop c7.
All right, I'm going to click on it because it looks like he's played.
Okay, so he's played this plan.
Oh, we've got the line we were just looking at.
Yeah, that's right. Now I'm expecting f5 from black. I mean, this is a very reasonable way of playing for white, but you need to have something now against f5. I mean, that's very important.
Yeah,
because f5, rook f6 is coming in.
All righty, fascinating game. We're going to make sure we look at some more. So Peshka the Great.
Okay, take queen e5 and rook d1. Yeah, this is the main line.
Yeah. Okay, and yeah, so this is mainline theory.
Indeed.
Fine. And you said it's slightly better for white?
Slightly better for white, but black should be able to defend.
Okay.
So
all right. Plenty of games we didn't look at at all yet. So let's leap to George against Drunken Knight, who's Chris Duncan, video master.
Yeah, so let's have a look. Yeah, this has been some sort of offbeat Sicilian, but yeah, this has actually turned out very nicely for black. So so Chris Duncan wanted to play his dragon, white avoided. Oh, there's a little trap there, of course. Knight takes e4 allows queen a4 check. Haha.
Yes.
So that's always very nice. So bishop b5 check. Knight c6, rook e1. This was vaguely popular at some stage, you know, just as an offbeat way of avoiding interesting lines. I think that they were taking on c6 though here in this particular way, because this looks rather tasty for black now. I mean, all the pieces are attacking the center, and on top of that, you're getting this huge pin with d5, knight e5. So yeah, knight c3, rook fc8. Queen e2, queen a5. Black's already threatening rook takes c3. So I think, yeah, I mean, white's under
for Drunken Knight here.
Yeah, this has gone very well. Hi, Maloka. Now, I don't think you can see the game list of this tournament. These are all individual games, really. So
yeah, there's somewhere where you can see kind of six. You can see c6 at once. If you look on their ECF website, I think there will be a link to where you can see lots of games at once. But I find it just as easy to follow in chess.com and follow the individual players. Okay, let's see.
Okay, this is quite nice. Phil Brooks playing 1e3 there.
Oh, is he trying to get into a French? Maybe.
No. This is these are quite well known. These lines are just e3. Even Magnus Carlsen played 1e3. There was a story at the Olympiad that Hammer, so the Norwegian grandmaster, he said sometimes there are times you want to punch Magnus, and he said like the time that he came to the Olympiad breakfast table and said, you know, 1e3 really isn't a bad move, and then proceeded to play it at the game, and everyone's thinking, you know, 1e3. But yeah, these are quite well known. There's a guy called Axel Smith who did something like I'm not quite sure a whole book about E3 systems, you know, and so that made quite a rage, really. So bishop e2, h6, short Gussels, and e6. So what we've got actually is a Benoni now, but where white's a tempo down, really, because he'll probably end up playing e4 in the end, but he's already played e3. So black's got a good Benoni, but the general argumentation is that a good Benoni is still bad. E3 poison, that's the one, Wilson, yeah. So it was a very interesting book, though a rather confusing book, I felt, but it had a lot of ideas in it. Yeah, I mean, at some stage white will go e4, and he's a tempo down on the Benoni, but that's probably still you know, an advantage. That's the general idea. So interesting opening play there from Phil Brooks.
Okay, Ferrari fan against Schlockvermer.
Right, this has been an advanced French, looks like, indeed. c5, c3, knight c6, knight f3. So this, yeah, this is a well-known line. b4 takes, knight g7, all very sharp. Knight c3. I've played this as white with horrific lack of success. So,
really?
Yeah, I didn't like the positions. I've got no clue why I decided to play it one day, but knight g6 is slightly passive. You normally go knight f5. So here actually white's doing quite decently. You know, he's got quite nice control here. Rook c1.
Schlock will push his H pawn.
No, I don't. It's not Schlock. It'd be Robert Starley who would push his H pawn, surely.
I was thinking for black, but it could be for white. Either, yeah.
I don't think. Well, looking at the game, I don't think that black did it. I'd more expect it from white, really, to go H4, H5 to try and hit that knight on G6.
That's true. That's true.
So rook C. I mean, actually, after rook C1, A6, H4 would be a very, very natural move to play. You know, so I'm not quite sure what black's doing with that knight. He looks.
If it gets hit, I suppose you do have this square, don't you?
Well, then I've got G3, so and I don't think that knight will be long for this round.
Just got to go back.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you went H4 here, I'd go castles, H5, knight H8, but it's not nice because
ideal,
H6, G6, and knight C5. You know, I don't know. It looks horrific for black, to be honest.
Yeah,
I mean, Robert played this,
maybe white should have thought about this one.
I think that would have been a really strong move. Yeah. But okay, I mean, what white played is very decent. I mean, it secures an edge. Black feels compelled to exchange off the dark squared bishops. I don't know whether, I would have tried to resist really, but okay, F6. This is quite decent though. You know, black's playing quite okay here. Bishop E8, getting the queen out, EF6 and queen F6. But this is a nice advantage for white in principle. I mean, the key question is the only thing you've got here. You've got some some sort of counterplay to deal with. That's knight F4, and also, well, it looks horrific, but knight takes D4. I'm not 100% sure that that's completely losing somehow. I'm not quite sure why, but that, at the moment that is losing. So then in that case, rook FC1 looks like a very natural move here, just to hit the knight.
Ooh, white has taken on A6. I guess just gonna, if rook takes, just go B5.
¿Por qué?
Look, white's played knight, a bishop A6.
Yeah.
I suppose black could take on here.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I'm just sort of,
just processing this thing. Or
white could go bishop E2 afterwards, but that hasn't improved white's position at all.
Because the knight's just there.
Well, if I go rook A6, B5 is probably a bit awkward. You're going to get a pass pawn on C6, which unless I've got some tactics, because I've got knight, I might have knight F4 coming in, but he's got a rook on C3, so he's covering the third rank like that. So I think white's probably safe. But if I just play knight takes B4 here,
or even you could take D.
Wow, that's risky. I get knight takes D4 and then rook F3, I think, afterwards.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll just very quickly
trust your first instinct, Natasha.
Yeah. So that one.
Before, yeah, and then I'm trying to think. I mean, am I missing a huge tactic here? But I don't think so. I mean, bishop B7, I go rook B8 or something, and or is white's plan to go rook C7?
Could be.
In that case.
Rook C7. Oh, and the knight's trapped.
The knight's got some problems. I mean, I don't know. I find it hard to believe that after rook F7 that's really going to work, though. I mean, feels to me like after rook F7, I'm threatening rook B7, and I could even play rook A7 instead of rook B8, and this doesn't work at all. So I think after knight takes B4, you're going to go bishop E2, I think, but then I just go knight C6. And I've actually gained the square A5 to C4.
This rook's better than it was, huh?
Yes, and the knights in particular, it was dominated, and now it's got some ideas. So yeah, I think just rook FC1 was better, because it's quite funny if white goes rook FC1. I think I'm seeing this right. On move 20.
Oh, sorry, move 20.
So rook FC1, you go knight takes D4. And I go bishop takes G6. You go knight takes F3 check. I go rook takes F3. No, rook takes F3. Queen G6, rook G3, and G7 has completely gone. So
ouch.
Yes, I mean that's all completely. So I think rook FC1 was really a big advantage for white. I mean that just looked gorgeous.
Okay, let's keep going. Chess Queen 960 against Dandy-tastic.
I love that Dandy-tastic name. I really do.
That's right. So this is Tashika Aurora against Jonathan Mackay.
Yeah, what is happening here? Oh, we had Jonathan's father on the stream, haven't we?
He was, and just to repeat, he has finished second in the under-18s. So very nice.
Very good. So knight b6. Okay, this is yeah, a little bit of a ropey system, I think, against the Catalan, but wow, tactics flying fast in there. Knight takes d5. He takes d5, e5, knight e4, knight d4. Yeah, I mean, white's a bit better here, but it's not crucial for black. Black's got play as well, and black decides to sacrifice a pawn here on d5. Bishop h3, rook fc1. Wow.
Okay. So,
who is better and why?
Yeah, I wonder if that knight, it feels like that knight's a bit loose on c5, or where is it going to go?
Yeah, I mean, knight d3 would be the dream, of course, but you've got bishop c4 then, which is rather annoying. So
you can just defend it.
Yeah, rook c8 probably would be the first move you'd really think of, and just see whether and really see what white's got up his sleeve. You know, I could also go rook fd8 and just chase the bishop away as well. That could also be possible. Yeah, one of those two. It doesn't feel like I've got full compensation for my pawn. Okay, rook c8 played. I mean, what I'm wondering about is queen c4 from white here, which might be annoying. But I suppose after queen c4, you'd go queen g6. Just get the queen out of the way and keep it going. I think this might be one of those positions where, you know, you never quite manage to get it completely clean. You know, it's black always, you know, manages to keep some sort of play in there. But I mean, knight f5 is also quite a dangerous move, come to think of it. And I'm wondering what I'm actually doing after knight f5. What am I doing? Knight e7 is quite a threat. And I'm threatening knight e7 and bishop takes c5. So that could be quite annoying.
Yeah. Maybe you have to take it.
Yeah, I promise if you take it, then it's just all
bad.
It's just all bad then, yeah. I mean, then white's got, you know, white's really got all the control there. So it might have been better to go rook fd8 actually, so you could drop the bishop back to f8. I think knight f5 is going to be a problem for black unless he's got something really clever up his sleeve.
Okay, I think I've seen where the draw offers have been coming from. We have draw agreed in nut flush against Edison Zhu. So they've had a little chat. Not sure enough. It's a pain. Did you intend to donate the C pawn?
Yeah. I think white's better here, but there is compensation, of course. There's some sort of play there. So yeah. Okay. Well played, Paul. Good tournament. You know. I think a lot of games which can be very proud.
Yeah, we were just trying to work it out. If you'd had that tournament over the board, it must be pretty close to an IM norm. It probably would be an IM norm, I think.
Having played Bogdan, Keith, and Mickey, having scored 1 out of 3 against those, and then
wasn't it 1.5?
No, because Mickey he lost to Bogdan and drew with Mickey and Keith.
That's right, yeah.
That makes 1, yeah. So
but he beat Hebs.
Oh, he beat Hebs. Okay, so yeah, it's a really great tournament there. So yeah, I mean, excellent result and well played. But yeah, good to finish off the game without a loss. That always helps. I mean, you don't have to travel home, which is always the always the nicest reason to, oh, I'm not going to press it, I'll take a draw. But yeah, no, good. Nice to see the players having a chat after.
Okay.
Long tournament.
Slow Sloth against I'm a Pickle. Oh, they're in a rook and pawn ending already. I'm a Pickle has
no messing around. Yeah, there we are. I'm a Pickle seems to be a little bit better in this rook ending. Well, maybe. Why not? Yeah. Attacking h4. If g3, I think we can go g5 then and create a passed h pawn, and that the rook's very nice on c4. So yeah, no, I think I'm a pickle has got a slight endgame edge there against Lekapova.
Okay, Yongwang against Whimsical Jam. We have a Sicilian fianchetto.
Indeed, close Sicilian, and it's all happening here. There's enormous tension in the position there, Queen c7. So what can White do here? That's a very good question, actually. Knight takes d4. I'm not sure I would have done that. I was thinking more about playing something like, well, the problem was that Black was threatening something like f takes e4 and bishop g4, probably. But this feels a little bit... Actually, this is going to be really risky. Tactically, it's very risky because after you go bishop d2, I'm going to take on the e4.
Yeah.
You can't go back with the d pawn. I've got queen c4, and after bishop e4, I go d5.
You can't take back with this d pawn, of course.
No, because now the queen's attacking the knight.
Yeah.
So I think this is
Whimsical Jam might have found a tactic here against.
I think Whimsical Jam has got a jammy tactic. I think that's absolutely true. How did he come up? I have to ask Theo one time how he came up with his name, because it's a hell of an imagination.
Nice name. Yes. All righty, we're just going to have a very quick look at Dionysian 2020 against Cute Puppy. Oh, we have another rook pawn endgame.
Indeed, this is obviously the Keith Arkle inspired tournament.
Yes.
Yeah, this is quite. This is not clear actually. Because Black can actually take that pawn quickly. Oh no, Queen d6 was d6 to c5 was kind of. Oh, but this is not silly either. Actually, you're just going to block the pawn and then activate your rook. I would think this should be. Am I correct? Yeah, rook d8 now. I think. Oh, that's really slow. That's wasted a move.
Oh.
Yeah, I think if you'd gone to king c5, because you would already be taking the pawn on b5, you could go f6. That must be fine for Black. I'm sure. But now this is a bit more.
Thought this could be drawn, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, if you go king f4 and then I go f6, could still be drawn. Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
Let's back in on board one.
Okay, so this is interesting. Interesting stuff from Diamond Knot. There is a problem though for Black here, and that's the pawn on e6, which is incredibly weak, and is now going to get hit by a knight either on f4 or on d4. This is quite well-known structure. So yeah, I think Black's got some big problems to resolve here.
So does he have any kind of tactical compensation to make up for this positional weakness? Or is it
not really? It's just a big weakness. Yeah. This is sort of known from various games. You know, Fischer Spassky or even Karpov Kasparov, and this sort of structure is quite vulnerable. I mean, there's a lot of lines, funnily enough, in the Tarrasch where Black plays, which this resembles very much, you know, where Black plays bishop g4 to force h3, and then the bishop goes back. And always the idea is there's a pawn on h3, so you can't attack the pawn with bishop h3, you know. But here Keith's got knight f4, bishop h3 coming in. So
could Black attempt to stop that with e5?
Possible. Risky again.
Very bit loose, isn't it?
It's very loose, but it might well be the best that Black has got. Funnily enough, we were talking about Alpha Zero games. There was an Alpha Zero game in the Alpha Zero Stockfish game in the Tarrasch that we've analysed on our Game Changer site, which had some similar themes. And Black just played e5 and did this. But knight e2 to f4, that was the plan that Kramnik did against me once.
Okay.
And I suffered grievously. Well, I drew. I made a lot of draws against Kramnik, but but that was. But I think you're right, Natasha. I think the concrete way to react is e5 and keep the knight out of f4. That's the most important, and then just trying to establish yourself on the dark squares. I don't think you're losing anything, so yeah, I think you should go for that.
Okay.
It may not be too bad yet. If you you might still be in time to sort of keep things together, but it's a bit dicey, So
Yeah.
Black needs some good moves here.
So Frederick the mate. So we saw Frederick putting his queen on to h5. Matthew said Mickey's going to play f5.
Indeed.
Mickey played f5.
E2, rook f6. This was a line that
rook f6, and I think we were saying before it's going to be a little bit tricky for the queen, or what's white going to do?
Yeah. So queen h4 played by Freddie. This feels quite risky. This. Let's have a look. What have we got with black? I mean, the most obvious line for black would be to just move the queen somewhere. So queen d7.
So this is the idea of this is if rook h6, which is the sort of plan, then you just swap queens.
Exactly. That would be that would be a kind of a dream, to do that. But I think that Mickey's going to play something like. Well, I mean, what ideas have we got? We've got queen d7 or queen c7. Just getting the queen out of the way and preparing to move the rook anyway. All
right, let's say queen c7.
Should we say d7? That's the one that.
That's the one queen d7, as I was saying.
That's the one that just. I don't know. I mean, that's just one that strikes me. Now we've got some interesting ideas there. But I mean, rook h6 is a huge threat here. So, and the question is, how are you going to deal with that? And that is a very good question. What can I do to deal with that?
Well, we've always got queen c4 check, haven't we? If we need to. Yeah,
that's right. That is possible. The question is, black goes king h8, and then I'm still searching for a move. I mean, I think my feeling looking at this is that I'm going to have to play a move like g3 that I don't want to, and then hope that I've got some play somewhere.
What about f4?
Yeah, f4. I go rook g6. I think. And then after, then I'm going to go rook g4 and take that pawn on f4. So that's a little bit awkward, that one. I'm not very sure about that one. I mean, sometimes you can find some creative ways to give up those pawns, and I think that's what we're sort of looking for here, unless there's some really clever ideas that we can play. I mean, rook e3 is possible. Rook e3, but I mean. Just in general, I mean, black's got masses of tempting possibilities here. I mean, and I'm not quite sure which one is the best. But
we could even go f4.
Yeah, f4's an idea. The only thing is, then I get e4, and I mean, I think in general, white would be, quite happy to go f4, rook e4, for example, and then give up his.
Give up the exchange, because we've already got 2 pawns, haven't we? If we're white,
we've got 2 pawns.
We could give up the exchange.
Yeah, we could do that. The other idea, apart from rook e3, that just vaguely occurred to me, but I imagine it's bad. But then I'm not. Is that true? Yeah, it probably is bad. But we can just have a look. So after queen d7.
Just our queen d7.
Yeah, I mean, I could play knight d5.
Yeah. I was looking at that.
With the idea of rook h6. I go queen takes h6. That's the basic idea.
That's nice. That's clever. So if takes, you just go check.
Aye. So then what have you got? You've got 2 moves there. So I mean, if you took bishop takes d5, well, I'd take on f6. Takes. I'm not 100% sure. Well, rook f8.
They're still big bishops, aren't they?
Yeah. Rook f8 is probably just there's no. I was thinking maybe I'd have some nice check somewhere or something, but it doesn't really look like it. I think rook f8, and then maybe I go, I don't know, queen h4, king h8 then, and it's not looking. There's a vague similarity to Mickey's game yesterday, so that's why it occurred to me. But no, I think that's not very good. You could do the same idea with knight e4, but I mean, there's also another problem with it. That after knight d5, you could also go rook g6, which is also posing a slight problem, a slight question as to what you're going to do with that knight. I mean, the problem is that if I go rook e7 would be the idea that I'd want to play. But I don't know whether that, if I go queen d8, you know, you sort of think, I don't know. This might be one. It might be one that you've just. Oh, there's knight f6 check. There's knight f6 check that I could try.
Knight f6. Oh gosh, because if pawn takes, we do checkmate along the back.
Yeah. So you go rook f6, and then I can't go rook g7, can I? No, I go bishop f6 then. Takes, and then we're just in an equal. No. He goes bishop takes e7, and then
it takes there. Yeah, that's more like
bishop e7. But okay, we've got we got 2 pawns.
So bishop, this is fine. Isn't this really good?
Yeah, no, this is fine. This is fine. But unfortunately, I think after knight d5, he's just going to play bishop d5. Can we have a quick look at knight e4 just for the sheer hell of it?
Yes. So instead of this knight d5, we were thinking, oh no, not there. It's
19 queen d7.
19 queen d7.
Yeah, knight e4. It's a similar sort of idea. But again, I think he just goes. Here he just goes rook g6, I think. And we could go knight g5 then.
Threatening.
Yeah, h6. I'm not sure. Queen c4 check. It's all a bit desperate. King h8. Not king f8. Knight f7 mate. Give a check. Might be mate. And then king h7. And I mean, he's got rook g2 coming in, so
it's horrible, isn't it? That's particular.
I could go g3. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this is just. It's just. I mean, the thing is, I'm going sort of knight e5 at some stage. I'm going to get my piece, but maybe f4 or something is just really strong. I don't know. You know, it's just.
We're just. Yes.
Queen h3 and f3 coming in. So I might, if you go knight d6, I'll probably just go queen h3, and then you block the file. Then I go f3 after. So it's quite tricky in actual fact. So wait a minute, just go back to queen h4, queen d7. Just have a quick look. Just
queen d7.
Just try and have another quick thing just to see whether we've got something.
Why is it saying queen c7?
That's because you put that one in first.
I put it in. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Mickey has actually moved, though. Should we see?
Okay, let's have a little look there. Oh, what?
This is completely different. So we were talking about queen h4 being to stop rook h6. This is what we looked at. But Mickey's played it anyway. And you said this will be a dream for white. So let's see. Is it a dream for white? Takes. Rook takes.
I don't believe that.
White's dreaming now. White is having a think. So do you think this has let white off a bit, do you think?
Yeah, g3 is yeah. No.
But black's going to go f4 maybe.
Yeah, but then I go knight e4.
Oh, then knight e4, yeah.
I mean, I'm blocking there, so but this can't be the way to play it. It can't be. Mickey. Okay,
let's leave this game here.
Yeah, I'm really surprised. I don't because I think after queen d7 I was getting worried that that the black was just clearly better already. So
yeah. But do you think Mickey might be thinking the bishops will be good in an endgame and he can pick off the d pawns or something like that?
Yeah, but yeah, no, I mean Mickey's got compensation. It's just that I don't think. Yeah. Just my initial impression is this is like equal compensation, or a slight advantage for black. And I was thinking queen d7. I think black's virtually winning. That was the. I was at that point really, thinking, well, it's all it's sort of fill your boots time really, and this just seems so modest really, in terms of what you're trying to get out of the black position. So. Yeah, I mean, Mickey's a much better player than I am, so we'll see how that all works out. But I'm just really surprised.
I mean, the two of you might choose to play positions in a different way as well.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I'm always going for the attack, and Mickey's much more versatile than that. but yeah, I don't know, just surprises me. But great, you know, I mean, that's why we watch this chess, to be all surprised together. So yeah, let's well, we'll keep an eye on that one.
We will keep an eye. Let's see Peshka. Okay, so this was a very theoretical game. I imagine they're out of theory now, or do you think they're still there?
Let's have a look. Looking at the old book. Queen f7, 20 bishop e7, 21 bishop g5, rook e8, all known. Rook takes e6, rook d6, rook e1. Yeah, this is still theory.
This is still theory. My goodness.
This is a game.
Chess is a game of memory.
This is Simacek Velika. So 2018, which ended in a draw.
Okay.
So, this is new. This is a new move.
Oh, and then Bogdan's offered a draw. With that move, the first move out of theory, Bogdan has.
This is a new move offered a draw. Well, I can imagine that this has been quite a strain for, although Bogdan's used less time.
Yeah, because these two won't have been able to refer to the book. So.
Yeah, exactly. I can imagine this was. Oh, has the sound gone? Says Gary Slegg.
Oh no, has it? Let me just try and put this on. Keep talking. Yeah, no, it's fine. Sounds okay.
Yeah, fine, says,
thank you, B22.
Hey, well played, B22. Great tournament. Very impressed with how you played. Well played. So, yeah, draw. Okay. So, all right. Great. Sound is okay. Fantastic. We hope it's more than okay, Kevin. We hope it's the best sound we've ever heard with us talking. So,
let's click back in on Amir Abbas.
His h4 attack was stopped, but he used it to get a knight on g5. Yeah, I think it must be your computer, Gary, because yeah, as far as we can see, we're okay. Yeah,
we think we're fine.
Yeah, thank you, Shadow Side. That's great. So yeah, what sort of position? I mean, h4. That's given white a knight on g5. Yeah, well, that pawn on e4 is a little bit awkward because I can't go knight h7 because then white can take on e4. So it's actually a little bit awkward for black, this position. I'm not quite sure. I mean, white even might play slowly and play bishop d1 to c2 and just take that pawn on e4 because I'm not quite sure how he's protecting it, actually, come to think of it. So I think Amir Abbas is doing pretty well there. I think this last move d5 was quite definitely quite sneaky, and black's got to have a look. I'd be tempted with black to start throwing in something like b5 and start trying to
get some play somehow.
Looking at these options to get some play somehow, because yeah, I think otherwise you're going to get it's going to get very awkward.
Okay, let's see. George against a Drunken Knight.
Ooh, yeah, this is really yeah, no, it's true. Well, rook d7, half. That'll go into the theoretical annals. Novelty from Bogdan on move 26, and the draw is agreed. But I think it's I only found out about it this morning, in actual fact. But it's a well-known line. It is actually a draw, and I think Yitchin tested Bogdan's memory, and the Bogdan memory proved to be up to the task. This is
not bad, given that Bogdan is the new winner of the over 50s tournament. So he won the seniors event, and so once you get to the seniors event, you're happy when your memory is proving good for that many moves of theory.
Yeah, it's and Bogdan's always been a great theoretician. He's always been really good at
that. That's true.
This is horrific for white. So knight e5 looks like a total dream.
Knight e5 just now.
Yeah, knight e5 now. So steady, Natasha.
Sorry, Bogdan, if you're actually watching this.
Knight e5 attacking f3. That is just horrific for. I don't know what white's doing. I have no idea what white can do. The pawn f3 is queen e3. There's knight c4. It's just it's awful.
Okay, looking good for Chris.
So looking good for Chris. He's going to finish off a good tournament. He's had a good fighting tournament, Chris.
Yeah.
Oh, this is quite nice.
Dangerous comment. Chris was second in the seniors after Bogdan. I maybe just should mention that. Okay, so
amazing. He can even move the pieces.
Oh, it's amazing he can play how he's played like this. No, we're only joking. Okay, so Phil Brooks against.
So he did go e4, tempo down, and there's been this sort of little fight in the king side, and White's gone f4, knight d7. So now we're reaching into this is the crucial part of the game. It's very interesting actually. What can White do here? Well, White's got several things that he could think about hitting. So I mean, there's the pawn on h6, which you could think about hitting with queen d2. There's the idea of knight h5 actually, which is sort of linked to that, but hitting the bishop on g7, but then that's going to undermine the pawn on h4. We've also got the idea. Kevin. Oh dear.
Good idea.
We shouldn't have started this. Good Lord. Bishop g4 is another idea. Just to
yes, I was looking at that and to come around into here.
Come around to there. That's quite dangerous. The other idea could be, but that's more positional. A sort of a slower one. You could play bishop d3 and just try and get rid of the light square bishops, and then just there'll be some. So you'll be able to put a knight on f5 or something. If I had to, probably the first thing that I'd start with would be knight h5 actually, because I've just got no clue how Black's going to defend that h6 pawn.
Yeah.
Or I might look at playing, queen d2, queen h4, knight h5. That's another idea that you can do. But this sort of idea looks pretty dangerous to me. I don't like Black's position.
There actually is no. He's done it that way, yeah.
I think that's fine. I mean, queen h4 was what I was thinking for Black, but then I'll probably go knight h5, and I'm just threatening g3.
Yeah.
So I think this looks
good for White. We reckon
this is good for White. I think, yeah.
Okie doke. Let's. I'm going to check back in on the top. So Keith and.
Ooh, okay. So he's got bishop h3. Did Diamond miss bishop h3? I wonder.
I don't know.
Or is Diamond aiming for something?
So we had that position, didn't we? Knight e2.
Yeah, knight e2. And you suggested e5, which I think was a good move. Bishop h3. Okay, so this is getting. Yeah. Now, I mean, what I'm wondering about. Is I'm just trying to make it work somehow. It's not going to work though, is it? I was looking at queen d6. That was the thing, or queen e5. I'm not sure. Queen d6, let's say. And then after knight f4, I wanted to try something like knight d2.
Ooh, trying to come in here. Let me just get a board actually, because
yeah, or knight a3, something like that. So queen d6, knight f4, and then let's say knight d2 or knight a3. Let's say knight a3. It's quite a similar idea. I mean, the idea simply is that you can't defend the rook on c1, but you've got this move rook takes c5, unfortunately. And then after rook c5,
you couldn't take the queen because it's check, and then you
check, and
take. Did you say queen takes?
Rook takes probably, I guess, but it doesn't really matter because we just go queen d3.
Queen d3.
And then e6.
So we can take on b5.
Yeah, but he'll take on e6 and d5.
Yes.
Well, I might have knight c3 at the end. I mean, I can go knight takes b5 maybe. Then, but then I've probably got knight takes e6. I don't know. I mean, whatever. This is really, this is on the limit. To if this works tactically, then I mean, it's really very, 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 very surprising, really. So, I think bishop h3 is a really nasty move. I think White's well on the way to victory here.
So, wait a minute. Wait. So
bishop h3 was the move that's been played.
Yeah. And your other idea was that way?
Yeah, but it's just the same. Rook takes c5.
Same thing.
Yeah, it's just always the same. You don't have to worry about it, and you go queen d3. Now I've got knight f3 check there. And then knight g5. I mean, that's still kind of living.
Or even,
But after knight d2, the point is after knight d2. Sorry, after knight d2, it's just total rubbish. After knight d2, rook c5, rook takes c5. You just take on d2. I mean, that's the problem. You know, and I could throw in a knight f3 check, but then you go king g2, and you'll take my knight on f3. So there's a real problem there. You know, there's a real tactical problem. So I think black's in big trouble. I think he probably missed bishop h3, and that's just rather nasty.
Ooh, when do we think Freddie will play Magnus?
Asking for a country. I don't know really. Yeah, I mean, impossible to say. Impossible to say. Let's
check in on his game.
Let's worry first about. Let's get Freddie.
Worry about Mickey, yeah.
beating IMs and then GMs after, and then Magnus will take care of himself. It's
so we had just swapped queens.
Yeah.
G3, bishop f8. Mickey's going knight e2, and so Mickey takes off the first pawn.
Okay, interesting. And Freddie's just given up the second one, the second pawn.
Yes,
he could have tried to protect it with bishop c3, but he's gone for knight f4. That's an interesting decision, and it's possibly a good one, I think.
He doesn't have anything like if it takes. There isn't like any bishop c1 tricks against.
I don't think so, because I think the rook goes back to d6 then. But actually, come to think of it, that might be you might be saying extremely deep things there, because so go for it. Rook d2. Let's put it on the board. Well. This could be a great minds thinking alike thing. So bishop d1. No, I don't think this is going to work, because if I go rook d8, for example,
rook d8. Oops, not that. Rook d8.
And you go knight e6, then I will take that.
Will you now? You will. Oh my goodness, that's not going to be any good.
No, and go rook d1. So afterwards, so that's not a good.
That's no good at all.
That's not a good one. But okay, let's have a look. I don't have a bad feeling about White's position here, really. So I'm not sure about bishop c1. Have a little think here. I mean, bishop c3 is quite is sort of possible. I'm wondering about rook c2, yeah. And I mean, I could go rook ec1 there.
Yeah.
ec1.
ec1.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure, but okay. It forces the exchange of rooks, so let's do that. Choppy. Yeah, and what have we got here? You can go g5, for example, with White. I mean, I guess that black's a little more comfortable here, because two bishops and some weak squares there on the king's side. So I think this is
feels better to black because of the bishops to me.
Yeah. I mean, so maybe let's just go back.
Although I suppose the pawns are isolated.
It's not awful, but let's just have a look at bishop instead of after rook takes d2. Let's just have a careful look here to see what we can do. b5, g5. They're always getting hit by g5. That's the definitely the annoying part to it. Bishop c3, rook c2. That feels sort of right, really. But after rook c2, I'd like something clever, but I don't really see it. Yeah, then it could just be, yeah. We'll have to have a look at that decision of knight f4, just giving back the second pawn, whether bishop c3 might have been better. But I guess that Freddie was maybe worried that the king side was going to get hit somehow. So he decided to go for activity, which is in principle not a bad choice. Only I'm just a little bit worried about
This knight is going to have to go to e6 at some point, isn't it, if it wants to go anywhere? Because these other squares don't look, none of them look really nice.
Yeah, no, it's true. I mean, I suppose I could go bishop c3, bishop a3.
Kevin's asking bishop a3. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. It feels weird, Kevin. It does feel weird, but you could easily be completely right. Now maybe this is a good idea. I mean, rook f2. How do these tricks ever work? I mean, okay, let's have a look at the. I mean, black could go bishop e4, which is a possibility, just to keep control there, and that might be a little bit irritating. But okay, maybe we go. Is g5 going to be really dangerous there?
Let's see.
Not yet, probably. Because it's white to move. Maybe rook c1. I don't know. Let's try that one, and then g5.
You think, or
g5? I think now.
g5.
And see whether we can dominate this knight somehow. So you've got to go back to e2, I think, or maybe g2. G2 feels funny, but it's.
I don't like my knight on g2.
Yeah, it's just a bit out of the way. That's the only wondering about it. Whether that might be. Yeah,
I suppose it could come back out to here.
But I mean, you're starting to look at stuff like, rook a6 here, for example. Bishop takes c5, takes, and then rook a2, which is quite scary, really.
Yeah.
I mean, this is feeling really, really, really very scary indeed for
yeah.
So I'm not sure.
Maybe not a3 then.
Yeah, bishop a3 is not clear. Not clear.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Oh dear. Yeah. Freddie's doing pretty well, yeah, but I'm not sure. I think Mickey's getting on top, I think. Yeah, still a very interesting. Oh, what did Freddie do? He went bishop c3.
Played, yeah. So you still know it has gone bishop c3 and rook c2, which we
it might be the most sensible, and then just rook e1, get rid of that rook, and then just you're just going to play the resulting position. Yeah. I think that's.
Let's where should we check in next?
Or could you go bishop a5? I mean, yeah. I think you've got to get rid of that rook on c2. If you leave it for too long, it's going to come back and bite you. You should go rook ec1 there, I think.
Yeah. Let's see. Amir Abbas.
Okay, so he didn't. Well, actually, this is black did the right thing here, trying to go for for a6 b5, and then now he's playing knight f8. He's going to play knight f8 to h7 in order to try and get rid of that knight on g5. That's a very decent idea. Rook a2 was a bit mysterious there. Yeah, I'm not sure. What is white going to do now? b3. I think, I don't know. It's a bit slow. I'm not sure that the white's got so much that. No, we'll see. It's. I mean, they're consolidating moves. It's just I'm a bit. I guess after knight h7 that white will play bishop f4 and then try and take back with the bishop on g5. So keep that pressure on the h pawn. So. Yeah, it should still be maybe a little bit better for white. I don't know, or around equal. So that bishop is going to come back c8 to f5. So yeah, I don't know. I think white needed to do something really, and I'm not 100% sure that this is really happening.
Yeah. Okay. We are going to check in on Yung Wang against Whimsical Gem. We have a check on the board. Queen all the way into e2.
Indeed. So we got a big passed pawn on e3 there. What is this? This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, good Lord, Whimsical Jam is 2 pawns down here.
Gosh. Hi, Sanjith. We'll check in on Keith next.
But I think Queen G2 is Queen. What's wrong with Queen G2 actually? You have to go Queen G2, right? And then I take off. And I mean, you've got a Bishop E5 and stuff, but I'm not sure. Is that really Bishop E5? I just take back with the F pawn. Yeah, I don't know actually. I think maybe Whimsical Jam has overcooked this a little bit because he seemed to have a really, really promising.
Looks like these pawns look impressive.
Yeah, but he's having to flop off the queens now, and I don't know how he's. I don't really know how he's going to proceed now. He could go E2, but then I just go. I can just go something like. I could even just go Rook F2. I think.
Rook F2. Then we do have like knight.
Yeah, but I just sidestep basically.
Tricks, don't we?
I just sidestep, I think, and then and B2.
Oh, and we can't take on B2, so it's nothing much.
I'm not sure. I get the feeling that maybe Whimsical Jam has just overcooked this a touch.
All right. Okay. Let's check back in on Keith. So Keith against Jan. Diamond Knot has offered a draw.
Oh, okay. I don't think that Keith will take that, to be honest, because I think that I think that Keith is clearly better here.
Yeah, so we just left it on Bishop H. Oh my goodness, with a whole load of arrows. Bishop H3, Rook E8, defending Knight F4, and King F7.
Yeah, I mean it's a decent draw to offer. You know, if you're going to offer a draw, you might as well do it now. But in principle, I would think that Keith would carry on here because I think he is clearly better here. A beautiful knight on F4, bishop on the H3. But of course, you've got to work out that it's always the thing. I mean, this is where you stop in analysis and say, and white is better. But in a practical game, you've actually got to go ahead and actually work it out. And that often that is often.
What I don't know is if this game, say Keith's game were drawn and Mickey managed to win, they would be then. Oh, who would be equal on points? Keith and Ayan as well, wouldn't? No. Sorry, no. Keith and Mickey only.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And so, Sanjay's saying Mickey wins on tiebreaks because I thought originally there was going to be a playoffs, but I don't know if that's changed given the delay till today. So whether there would be a playoff between Keith and Mickey or not.
Yeah, I was going to say. I thought it was a playoff.
Well, Fan will know this. So it's a playoff because Wolfan's one of the organisers.
Oh, okay, great. So it's just probably a playoff that gets organised a little bit later than planned, I guess. But yeah,
later than planned because it would have been 4 o'clock today.
Yeah, that we'd reserved our time, hadn't we, to do that?
We had.
So, but okay, yeah. So. Yeah, I mean
that's a little way off because Keith has declined the draw, and Mickey's still playing.
Has he declined the draw? Can you see that?
Oh, sorry. No. Sorry, Diamond Knot offered a draw. That doesn't mean Keith declined it. Keith's having Keith could well take a draw, couldn't he?
Could do. I think he's got more time and he's clearly better here. So I mean. Just in terms of moves that occur to you, first of all, E4 looks like a real biggie, basically. Here, just really trying to loosen up those light squares. That's I guess the first move that I'd sort of think of. If now there's a few interesting things in there. Maybe Bishop G5 could be an interesting way of trying to counter that. That's not completely obvious, so you need to have a think about that. But for example, against a move like Bishop G5, I'm getting very tempted by Knight takes E6 here. Rook takes E6.
Takes.
Probably Bishop takes, and then E takes D5.
Gosh, that king's coming right out.
Or even Rook takes D5 actually. Although Rook takes D5, takes D5, there's maybe Knight A3. Come to think of it. No, there's Queen B3 check after. Yeah, maybe rook takes d5. Just try rook takes d5.
Let's just have a look. So rook takes d5. So this is the position we could reach.
Yeah, okay, but now I was correct. First of all, there's knight a3 in this position, I think.
So knight a3. This is complicated, isn't it? Queen b3, you think?
No, well, yeah, queen. I just go rook takes c1. I've got a discovered check, but it's nothing really, you know. Oops. So yeah, and the queen's hanging. So I think that this is probably overcooking it. But I could go e takes d5. Oh, thank you, Hellraise, Joel. Thank you very much. But I just go e takes d5 instead of rook takes d5 then.
E takes d5. Ah, yes, I hope your tournament went well, Hellraise. I know you're organising today whilst Theo's playing this.
So, okay, I'll go king f7 back with black. And then this is the question about, do we have something something big and clear here?
Why don't we take on c1?
Well, because it's
it's not our go. That's
right. There you go. That's normally the one of the big inconveniences. I mean, I could just go f4 here.
F4.
To meet bishop f6 with queen e4. Adult players at their first tournament. Wow, fantastic.
Yeah, lovely. I bet everyone had a really wonderful time coming back to over the board. But what about why don't you just take this off? Is that too?
All right, I'll take it.
Oh, no, because I'm going to get pinned at the end, aren't I?
Just a little bit, but maybe maybe you don't mind. Yeah, bishop f6 is possible, and then I'll go queen e4. Yeah, you go queen c8 maybe, just to... Yeah, I don't know. It's not gone yet, but it is obviously pretty close. Could you just go back to 25 e4, bishop g5?
25. Did you say? No.
25, yeah. 25 e4.
There we go.
So, because I'm just trying to think, is there another move that I'd want to play except for bishop g5 here? I'm doubting it somehow. I'm really doubting it because d4, I can do something maybe even like queen b3 or knight d3. I mean, it just starts looking really horrific for black. So I think if you go e4, I think you've got to fight. You know, stand and fight and go bishop g5. I think that would be the most. But I mean, I'm even thinking about going after bishop g5. I mean, even e takes d5, bishop f4 is maybe a little bit too risky. But I could go because I'm sort of thinking, you know, I could go bishop e6. You know, king g7. Bishop e6 and king g7. No. We're looking at e takes d5, bishop f4, and then bishop takes e6.
Right, where are we? So bishop g5, 27, did you say?
26. So e takes d5, yeah. Bishop takes f4. Bishop takes e6 check. And de looks interesting. King g7. But yeah, gf, queen f4 is a little bit... maybe feels a little bit loose somehow. Although I've got queen a1 checks and stuff like that. I mean, this is even this looks better for white. So I think really it's a question for Keith of which one does he want really. But I think e4
he has played a move actually, so he must have declined the draw.
He's played e4, yeah.
He's played e4. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
This is I'd say this is close to winning for white. I think it's still complicated, but I think it's really powerful.
Yep.
And I think Diamond North needs to sort of take some sort of drastic action now, otherwise the whole position's going to collapse.
So we've been looking at bishop g5.
Yeah.
Other drastic things?
Hard to say, really.
Hard to say. Yeah. All right. Let's check in on Freddie and Mickey. So we saw when we last saw it, black had the rook in on c2. We were like this. So Freddie did play the line we were thinking, rook here, takes, and then Mickey played bishop e4. d2, rook a6, bishop e3. So white's trying to kind of liquidate as many pawns as possible.
Yeah, this is quite sneaky actually. So the idea is to play after rook takes a2. You'll go knight e6. That's the idea.
Yeah, because you can't go bishop c5. You'd end up with this horrible back problems.
Yeah. But I think you'll aim to go knight e6, and then if you go bishop e7 or whatever, then I might go bishop takes c5. I don't know, or I might just go knight takes c5.
Yeah, so you take on here anyway.
Yeah, something like that. The only question is that I suppose black plays bishop f3 or something, and
it's long term, isn't it? This problem on the back rank.
Yeah, this is the problem. You've just fallen into a situation where it's just long term tricky for white. Quite difficult to get yourself free. So yeah.
Because there isn't really a way. Yeah, there isn't really a way to break out of it. If Mickey does do this bishop onto f3.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to be playing with tactics with your knight, trying to hit stuff and make it difficult for white. But in principle, for black rather, but in principle, black's quite in control here, really. So, but okay, I mean, it's not lost yet. It's just right. I'd say clearly better for black, and you're just going to try and hold that, I think.
Okay, Ferrari fan against Schlock.
Oh yeah, Ferrari fan. So this has gone quite well. All the same.
For Ferrari fan.
For Ferrari fan, rook f5. I mean, rook c8 check feels quite natural, really. We're going to pick up, but I suppose I've got to watch out for your light squares. I suppose. I suppose without really. Well, there's some sort of little counterplay here. I can't see anything. I was expecting something kind of decisive, where you just sack something and fork something, but I'm not seeing it yet. Yeah, what would we do? I mean, black's going to go rook af8 and then try and hit you on f2. So you just need to be prepared for that. I mean, I could go rook c8, and then after rook takes, black goes rook f8, forced. And the only annoying thing about it is that black gets the threat of queen b1 check. That's what I'm a bit upset about.
Yeah.
But maybe it's not so bad. Maybe I just go rook c7 after you go. I go rook c8 checked, back rook f7, and maybe that's. Because how many pawns is it? 1, 2, 3. It's only one pawn.
One pawn, isn't it?
I'm being a bit. I have a feeling I'm being a little bit careless about this. But yeah, rook c7, and then rook f7. I guess.
Do you have to? Oh, you do. You can't check because you just.
Yeah, I'm just threatening, and I'm threatening d5 really. So I guess you have to go rook f7.
Okay.
But I mean, I could.
Oh, well, white could draw, but white doesn't want to.
Oh yeah. No, I mean white's going to play this for the win here. But it's slightly annoying somehow. It's not quite clear really. I mean, I could play something like rook c8. Wondering rook f8. I could take it off.
Yeah.
I mean, I can pick up the pawn on b6, but I'm not 100% happy about that. I think I'll get checked and irritated. I mean, I could play d5 in this position. And just try and claim that I've just got a huge. But you go e takes d5. It's not very. Oh, queen f4 check. But that doesn't. Queen f4 check would be very sweet.
Picking up the bishop.
Yeah, and you've got to be careful. You can't go to g8.
Then black can pick up the bishop back again.
Yeah, you can't go to g8 because I've got queen a4. And you can't go to
E8 for the same reason. So you have to go
E7 is the forced move.
Okay.
And
then
precisely at this moment, as Bologan always says.
That's right. So precisely at this moment, we go just move this bishop.
Well, queen b1, queen e4 check is threatened. That's the problem. So I could go bishop takes g7, but I'm a bit worried about queen b1 check, king g2, queen e4, and exchanging off the queens.
How many pawns up do we need to be? You have to be quite a few, don't you, with opposite bishops?
Well, it's not really the number, but it's more the have you got pass pawns on both sides of the board, really, is in this sort of position, and you don't here, and you've got no chances of creating any. So
because you could go like bishop d4, and if you try and swap queens, then you take the b6 pawn at the end.
Yeah, no, that's true. But I think that would be drawn as well. I think that that would just be drawn. I'm looking at queen h4 check just for annoyance purposes. But I mean, I might manage to get into a queen and pawn ending a pawn up if I'm very lucky. But it's not right. It's not right. So need to find something a bit better than that. Maybe it's not quite. It looks, I just intuitively when I saw it, I thought white was 2 pawns up, but only 1 pawn up. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh gosh! I tell you what, the game's finished and Ferrari fan has won.
Oh, good lord!
So what happened? So.
Oh, good lord! Queen e4 was played.
Queen e4 here.
Yeah, and then rook c5 was played, and then queen takes a8 check won the.
Okay, so I think it's just a slip by black.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well done, Ferrari fan. All right. Let's pop back in on the top boards. So.
All right. So Diamond Naught has not
e4, queen d6.
Yeah.
ed and ed.
So Diamond Naught is playing tight at the back here, but he's not really. He's not really that tight at the back. So. I mean, already there's, tricks are starting to. Hey, Dick Coda.
Hi,
good.
Coda.
So yeah, I mean, already tricks against d5 are rearing their head. I would say queen b3 would be my natural move here. Just threatening rook takes d5.
Keith's done bishop
g2 is also probably very powerful as well. Trying to think. Well, I think you're gonna. Well, yeah, you're just gonna have to give back. You're gonna have to give up this pawn on d5 somehow. Because if you play something like d4, I'll go queen b3. I think.
Yeah.
Or actually, no, d4. I've got rook takes c4. Come on, Matthew. Rook takes c4 and bishop d5 check. So that's just horrible. Well, it's just lost. So yeah, and bishop d5. It's a big threat, really. So. I think you have to go knight b6 simply. I can't think of another move.
Just to defend. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Right. Why not?
But I mean, what am I? I just sort of thinking. I've got everything in this position. I mean, probably knight d5 is just winning. I think.
He's done it. Okay. So let's have a look at knight d5.
Because I mean, just to explain, after I can go rook takes c5, so instead of knight d5, and go rook takes c5, but then black takes with the queen, and then knight d5. Thank you very much, Ferrari fan.
Hey, yes. Ferrari fan.
Well played that last game, and we enjoyed watching your games. So thanks very much,
Ferrari fan. Thanks, Robert.
So knight takes e5, but I don't need to take on d5 now. So I could. You never know. I might be able to find a decent move like rook e2 or something like that, that gets counterplay. Okay,
let's have a look. Rook e2, hitting here.
Yeah, and I think that's quite unpleasant or annoying. I mean, you can go knight e3, or something like that. But I don't know. I just have a feeling of black's got more here than he should do. Maybe I go king g7 just to get out of the way, and then I just keep on. I've got counterplay somehow, I mean that just so I don't want to allow that. So what I was thinking of then was to go instead of was to go knight takes d5 immediately, with the idea that if knight d5, then I can just go rook takes c5.
Takes c5.
Yeah, and I can go bishop takes d5 afterwards. Maybe even rook d5 could be powerful, and then take on b7, and then maybe I'm quicker on stuff. I've also got to pass b pawn as well. I don't know. I mean, yeah, you can still go rook e2 here, so that is absolutely possible. That is not
interesting position. Actually, you're going to get these opposite coloured bishops.
Yeah,
and probably the white kings may be safer than the black, but the black pieces are lined up against the white king.
Yeah. So I mean, maybe what I'm going to do is just I'm just going to go. Sorry, after knight takes d5. If you take with a knight, we'll just refine that slightly, and I'll just go. I might just go rook takes d5 maybe.
So rook here.
And after rook takes, I'll go queen b3 maybe.
Queen b3.
And the idea is simply that that you're more passive. Now, what I've just noticed actually is that that can't work. Is to go rook e5.
This one.
Yeah. So rook d1. That was the idea, and then king e6 here. Just
king e6. Yes. Okay. King e6.
Which is an interesting little idea. Can I go
so
f4?
We can't. Which one? F4.
F4 was what I was thinking. How is that? Queen c5. Because queen c5 check I've got. But I guess I can throw in an a4 or something. I could go queen c5 check and a4 then. Queen c5 check. King h1 a4. Oh, whimsical gem. Oh, okay.
Very good, very good. So whimsical gem was actually a chess kid name.
A4, and this would be irritating.
They do good names on Chess Kid, don't they? Yes.
This would be irritating. Yeah, as in I think probably losing for white. So
really? Okay. So yeah, if the queen had to move away to f, we can take on d1 or something.
Take on d1. Yeah, that just wins. So wait a minute. Because just go back to knight takes d5. Sorry, just
this one.
No, the previous one. Yeah, 28 knight takes d5.
One.
Because I was thinking, rook takes d5. I thought that was kind of going to be then sort of forced. Rook takes d5.
Sorry, I was multitasking there, reading the chat. Rook takes d5.
But then I was thinking I'd go queen b3 in that position, and I'd have some. Because if you go rook e5, then I go f4, and I think that's really dangerous. This one. You haven't got queen c5 check. You know, that was the idea. Oh, relegated. Oh, sorry, Ocelot.
Well, hopefully we'll be back. We'll be back.
We'll be back. Yeah, this is not as clear. Let's just go back to knight b6 then. Just have a quick check to see what Keith can do. Rook c5. So maybe we should just be playing, more calmly, a sort of a queen d3, for example, or something like that, and just or queen b3, and just just play it quietly, or an h4 as well as possible. Oh, Keith's done this. He's gone.
Keith. So we had knight.
Yeah, actually, I should have thought of this because of course Keith was going to keep his favorite knight and not go for the bishops there. So
rook c5 and queen c4.
Interesting.
So how is this? So white's a pawn up.
White's a pawn up. This is not easy, I think. Yeah, this is going to take some technique, I think, but obviously that's something that Keith is pretty good at.
Keith has it.
He's pretty good at it. But yeah, I mean, so we're not going. Keith's not going for the opposite coloured bishops here. So he's going for his knight. I'm just wondering slightly, just in the current situation, I'm a little bit nervous about it because I'm wondering how stable that knight is, you know. And but okay, maybe we just need to do some consolidation with white, and then it'll all fall into place. So it could be that I mean, I'm not sure that exchanging off rooks is really what you want to do. I mean, rook d7 check, rook e7 is kind of natural, but I think that once the rooks disappear, then you're just left with this enormous queen on c4, which is doing a sterling job, you know. So I think that you'd rather have the rooks on the board, is my feeling.
Well, Keith prefers having his rooks on the board to the queens, although you do. Like traditionally, you're told queen and knight against queen and bishop is a good idea.
Yeah, no, that's definitely true. So I mean, I think, but I think just in this specific case, I think the black
queen looks nice, doesn't it? On that,
really well played. So I would, I mean, that sort of what I did is my thinking of. I've got queen d1, which is one possibility, just trying to but I don't know whether that's, I mean, queen a2 is possible, and then but I'm hoping that I've got some, you know, some danger when I go rook d7 or something like that, but I'm not, or queen f3, I'm not 100% sure that's possible. And the other idea would be just to go something maybe like rook d1, which looks a little bit passive, but I can get my knight into d5 basically. Yeah, and yeah, I'm not worried anymore about, you know, about any hits against the knight on f4. So this is quite still quite a bit of work required here, but Keith's got more time.
Hi, Caroline. Hi, Ryan Paul. Hi, Dildo Gaggins. Fine. Okay, so we have. Let's look at Frederick.
Yeah. So okay. Oh, that was clever from Mickey. That was very clever. So after knight e6, we were just saying bishop e7. But Mickey did something much cleverer. He went c4.
Okay, c4 here.
And after knight f8, there's going to be c takes b3 and b2.
Yeah, so we can't allow that.
Yeah, and you can't take with a rook because of rook a1. Well, actually, he could have taken with a rook. Maybe bishop d5 actually is the move that's the problem. Oh, Mickey. Oh, it's all coming back to me. How this is what you always get against Mickey. So yeah, so b takes c4, but that means now that black's got a very dangerous passed a pawn. So bishop a3, rook d1, bishop e7, knight d4 from Freddie, and bishop f6. Yeah, this is a very difficult ending for black. Obviously, for white rather, the two bishops. But okay, I mean, we could have a look at playing. We could have a look at playing something like c5. I mean, that feels kind of natural.
Yeah, you got to get your c pawn up, haven't you, just to create some threats the other way around.
Yeah, the only problem is after c5, I think, will Mickey play rook a4? Maybe rook a4 here, just to keep an eye on the knight, and then after c6 he'll go rook c4, and then that pawn's under control, and then afterwards he's going to start playing for a5 or something like that.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. We need something. We need push 'em baby. Some say to the episode. I'm not sure. I mean, it's all going to be tactics, really. Whether you can. Whether you can hold that or not. I mean, you could say something like knight b5 afterwards. Yeah, c5 played. I mean, I'd expect, you know, my intuitive expectation then is, well, I mean, actually, there's, well, c6. I think you've got to get that pawn under control. I was looking at going g5, but I think c6 is getting a bit risky. So rook a4, I'm expecting.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, c6, rook c4. And then I'm wondering about whether you could play knight b5 in that position.
Oh, just to try and give up the c pawn but take the a pawn.
Yeah. I mean, but Mickey will go a6, but then I want to go knight d6. That's the idea, and then just give up a pawn, but swap off my get his 2 bishops and get rid of that bishop on e4. So c6, rook c4, knight b5. Again, no idea whether this works at all.
a6.
Yeah, and then I go knight d6, and then you go rook c6.
Well, at least we'll remove that horrible bishop.
Well, that's right. But I'm just I'm just wondering because also instead of a6, black could go a5, which might be. But a5, I might be able to go c7. That might be that'll be irritating, won't it? Must be. So okay, I could get this position, and I could play something like rook d5 from white, maybe. Stop the pawn from advancing, and I'm just going to go rook a5 to a4, and just try and even play bishop d4 to swap off. It's not clear. Not clear, this one. I mean, I might have some...
came off. What's that ending like?
Probably drawn. Not clear. Probably drawn. Although the rook's quite well placed on the side, because that means that the king can... but I need to get behind the pawn then, really. If I stay in front of the pawn, then that would be a bit more tricky. I mean, it's limit, right? But something like this, at least, you use the c pawn as a decoy, and somehow getting rid of the light square bishop for a pawn would be a big help somehow if you could do that.
All right.
Okay, so he swapped off the rooks here. Okay.
Yes. Okay, so he did go down this line. So rook d7, diamond naught interposed, takes and takes.
Yeah, we need a good move here from white now. We need some good, because I don't think a move like queen b3, swapping off queens, is going to be anything. I think that you take that, you go bishop d6. The black king's really active, so I don't think that you'll be able to deal with that. I think the black king will just come in. So we need some.
Hi, Charlie Chesscat.
Hey, Charlie Chesscat.
Is saying go Keith.
Indeed, but thing is, I mean, black's going to play a4 if we're not careful.
Sorry.
Hey, Pessa. Ooh, I don't know, Pessa. It's all in the balance.
Well, it's going to be between Keith and Mickey, isn't it? Nobody else can.
Indeed.
Is that right? Am I right? No, can Diamond Knot if he wins. Wait a minute. If Diamond Knot wins, he could win because he could have 7. But it's not win. It would be have a playoff.
If
Mickey wins. So it could. So the possibilities are: if Keith wins, he wins. If Keith draws, Mickey wins. Then it's a playoff, Keith and Mickey. If Ian wins and Mickey wins, it's a playoff between Ian and Mickey.
Yeah, and if Ian wins and Mickey doesn't win, then it's Ian who's champion.
7. Yes, that is true because Bogdan drew.
Indeed.
Yes.
So,
and if Keith and Ian draw, then Mickey wins and it's playoff. Yeah, there isn't any other.
Then there's
we've got all the possibilities there.
Yeah. But Keith's a half point ahead, right? So
yes.
Yeah. So, but this is quite tricky because I mean, I don't think white can't play queen b3, and I mean, black's going to play a4, a3 probably, and tie down this a pawn. And I'm it's all at the balance, and I don't know. I didn't think Keith should have swapped off the rooks. I don't know. I mean, Keith's a great technician, so we're going to see what Keith comes up with. But I would have said normally that that this has lost some of Keith's advantage, I think.
Okay.
Because
I'm going to just flick between games a little bit. So
the thing about it is that I think that knight on f4, that was good for as long as the black king was exposed. But now that the black king is not exposed because the rooks have disappeared, I don't think that knight is doing that much. It's not hitting the vital points anymore, and I don't know. I'm not sure. That's what my feeling is. I feel that this is quite a difficult one for Keith to do. But this
queen looks good to me.
Yeah.
This queen could improve, couldn't it?
Yeah. I mean, maybe what Keith needs to do is to do something like queen b2. Try and get that queen improved. But then I'm worried about bishop f6 because the pawn on b5 is hanging. So if I go queen d2, queen b5, there's nothing. And if I go queen b2, bishop f6, queen e2, I just take the queens and come king e6, and I can't be worse with black. I've got a huge king there.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's a toughie, but yeah, as I said, I think Keith would probably, if Keith was going to have something, he would take this sort of position. So I mean, h4 is another thing you could think about, to try and go h5 and make use of that knight on f4. But there's a couple of lines. I mean, there's bishop takes h4 to start with, which might be.
So you can just do that straight away.
It's possible. I can't find it, because knight d3, for example, you think, haha, I'm moving away, I've got a fork. I go bishop f6 and cover it. H4, bishop h4, knight d3, I go bishop f6. So I'm covering that threat. You can go knight takes g6, of course, but I just take it back, and there's no. So I don't know. I mean, you're going to have to find something subtle here, subtle and brilliant, in order to pause for thought.
Pause for thought. Very good, Waldsman.
You're going to need something subtle and brilliant here, I think. Really subtle endgame play here to do this. You really need to get this right.
Okay.
So, very nice emote, Charlie Chesscat. Let's go back, have a look at how Freddie and Mickey are doing. Because
now what's happened here? So
it was rook a4 was played, but then f3. Okay. Now this is quite interesting, because Mickey can create pass pawns on both sides of the board. It's the same thing that we said for this ending of c6, a5 now, c7, bishop b7, exactly. I think this is winning.
Because these pass pawns are going to be far enough apart.
Yeah. I think this is winning for Mickey.
Now, Freddie was we interviewed Freddie yesterday. Had a lovely interview, so check that out if you can.
Oh yeah, I did check that out. Got to.
Freddie was talking about how he liked to get his king active. So what I'm expecting in the next few moves from White is that Freddie starts bringing the king into the game. Yeah, acorn wrong color, says B22.
You are absolutely right. I was just whilst Natasha was talking, I was just sort of thinking about it and thinking, yeah, actually, come to think of it, it doesn't actually matter that much. That well, it does matter a bit, that a pawn, but it's not actually that clear. And it's not going to be. It's not going to be. Yeah, it's not going to be so easy. It's not going to be so easy. No, I'm getting. I'm running ahead of myself there. I just got impressed with the idea of two pawns far apart, but you are absolutely right, B22. This is actually maybe.
So it's gone king f2. He has activated his king f7.
Yeah. Now, how are we going to do this? Because I think maybe Mickey's. What's Mickey going to do? Because he. What's Mickey going to do here? I mean, I go h4, g6, king e3, king e6. I go king f4. I mean, actually, it's not even easy to actually get those pawns started. Yeah, h4, that's a good move. I mean, Freddie's just going to bring his king up to f4. I don't know. Yeah, I was thinking that's going to be winning, but yeah, just all sorts of other things are coming in my mind now. So yeah.
You're surprised about the rooks coming off, Sonia?
Yeah, I'm wondering when black. I sort of believe Mickey, I think, but when 34 f3 was played, what actually happened there? Because that was a move I hadn't expected.
So what happened was bishop takes d4.
Yeah, that's right. But maybe f3. Maybe f3 was a nasty move.
Just gets after h4. We got h4. Move 40.
Yeah, maybe f3 was a nasty one, because if the bishop moves away, I would have had something like. Well, actually, yeah. Where does the bishop move away? I mean, bishop d5, maybe. Then knight f5. I would have taken on f3. How would that have been? The king's obviously free there, so don't know. Ooh, wow! This is thrilling. King e3 played in the game.
Let's pop back to we were there. h4 came in, a4, and king e3.
So, all right then. So, what is going to happen here? So, Well, let's say a3. I will play king f4. Feels like, and you'll go g6, for example. And then the question is, I can start. I mean, I really can start swapping off pawns here.
h5.
Yeah, h5 is probably quite a good start, actually. And then afterwards, I'll go g4 afterwards. I mean, you can go bishop c8 to stop me. That's what I was wondering whether, yeah. I mean, you might go, maybe you'll go bishop c8 to stop that anyway.
Yeah.
Takes back. I put my king on g5 simply. I mean, this is not going to be working.
How's black going to go and get a pass pawn around here?
It's not going to be, well, although, you know, I mean, if you get this sort of structure, you could just make a run for the a pawn then, because your bishop on c8 is stopping white from getting rid of the g pawn, if you see what I mean.
Yeah, I do see what you mean. So okay, so king, so a2.
A2 will play.
There.
A2, bishop a1. It's a long march to the a pawn. But what we could probably, could we?
As long as we get both those, we're not going to get both of them. We're just going to get the one.
Well, I mean, you know, I was thinking I could go king e6,
takes
king d6, king d5.
Yeah,
you've got to watch out a little bit, because I want to come around to f3 and then take that pawn on g3. But you've got bishop e5 always to defend it. So
yeah, I'm going to come in and try and take your bishop.
Yeah, I know. And you're gonna defend. Nah, this is rubbish. I'm not getting this at all. Crumbaloonies. This is maybe yeah. Who knows? This is maybe
You're on.
Could be.
Okay, let's look at the other game as well. Arco and Ian.
So knight g2 was played from Keith, trying to reroute his knight. Bishop c5 played. Knight e3. Takes. Queen e6. That's a strange move, queen e6.
Why strange?
I would have just gone a. Oh, he was trying to go.
He's just threatening this pawn.
I would have gone king e6, to be honest. I think maybe. Oh, although maybe Keith was going to go queen b3. Was Keith going to go queen b3 then? King d5? I don't know. King f2 played. This is not a very easy ending to win by any means. But
yeah, he's still +1 pawn, right?
Yeah, he's +1 pawn. So yeah, we'll see.
Keith has all the chances.
Keith has all the chances. I mean, this is basically an ending a pawn up. Objective chances, not 100% sure. But yeah. You know, I mean, maybe Black will play a4 in this position just to try and tie down the a pawn. That is probably a good idea.
Remember, if Mickey does draw, Keith only needs to draw
to avoid a playoff. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, no, very interesting there. So
yeah. Just I mean, in the other games, Drunken Knight has managed to win that game. He was looking good.
He was looking good all the way.
Ferrari fan we saw, didn't we? Okay, let's have a very quick look at Phil Brooks against Testarossa.
Oh, that's looking very nice for white. 2 pawns up, 2 bishops, dodgy king, dodgy pieces. So yeah, that's looking very good. And
chess queen Tashika Aurora against. Oh, this looks good for white, which would be. Knight is Tashika Aurora, right?
Yeah, we're looking at it from the black side, aren't we?
I find it really confusing with the. It's this one, isn't it? And I just flip it. I think it was because we were looking at it from the black because Jonathan Mackay logged in before Tashika Aurora.
Bologan always insists on when he's got black repertory books on having all the diagrams from the black side, and I find it horrific. Oh, I can't cope with it.
I like to see it from the side. If I'm playing the black pieces, I like to see it from the black side.
No, I really hate it actually. It's let's have a look. What have we got here? Yeah, I mean, this is just winning for white in principle. You've got to be a little bit careful because, you know, those the king's active. There's going to be some checks and all that. But in principle, bishop a5. That's a sneaky move. So probably put the king on h5 now, maybe. I guess that's more or less the only move. And now f6. So and you're threatening f7 now. That's probably more or less terminal, I think.
Yeah, and Whimsical Jam has won against.
Okay, my goodness, that was pretty unclear, but well played, Whimsical Jam.
Good. Okay, let's check back in on Keith.
Oh my goodness, Theo had 4 games a day, and he had a 4 games day today.
4 games. So junior. I'm imagining that's 1 in the junior tournament, 2 in the World Youth, and then 1 tonight. Yeah, and so I think the World Youth carries on, doesn't it, for another 2 days or a little while anyway. And but at least this tournament's over.
Yeah, no, that's crazy, but I think you will have learned a huge amount from that. So
definitely.
Okay, Diamond Naught, Queen f6. I'm not sure about this. Oh, maybe Queen c3 now. Oh no, there's Queen b3. I think he should have played a4 earlier. I mean, this is you know, queen and pawn endings are tricky, and I wouldn't have imagined that Diamond Naught, being a junior, has had much experience of queen and pawn endings. So this could be.
He played some last year. I think he played some ending. I mean, he plays quite a lot, doesn't he, Diamond Naught?
Yeah, but I mean, Keith's been playing for.
Yeah, I didn't say he'd have as much as Keith, but yeah, he's not a beginner either.
No, but I mean, I'm just saying, how many queen and pawn endings have I played in my career? Not very many. That's what I'm saying. So, I mean, I'm just saying that a junior will not have played very many of these difficult queen and pawn endings, and they're quite tricky. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, maybe Queen e5 is the intention. Possible threats of Queen h5 check, but we'll see. We'll see. Let's have a look at Mickey Adams.
Okay.
Oh, what's happened here? That is.
I'm all disorientated. Everything's changed. Where did we get up to? We'd had this.
Yeah. So what did Mickey do here? Mickey went for. Oh, Mickey went for this. Okay.
King e6.
King g5. Mickey went for the pawn.
King d6.
Okay. King h6 takes. King h7. Bishop e4 played.
So you can't. Oh, you can. I don't know whether you can't, but he has taken on g6.
Yeah, this is quite. Yeah, could be. Oh, this is very well calculated. Yeah.
King g5 takes.
Yeah, we've calculated it beautifully. Mickey Adams off the draw. My goodness me!
Let's say,
wow.
Before anything, very well played, Freddie. Well played both. Let's just see how that went. Okay, so King takes g6, f4 check, takes here, check. Picking up the pawn again. Yeah.
And then King f6 afterwards, and Bishop e5. Yeah,
F6,
very impressive. Very impressive. Wow.
Fantastic, Freddie. Well played.
Yeah, hard luck, Mickey.
Hard luck, Mickey.
But yeah, very well played, Freddie. I think that's
Freddie is just definitely a name to watch out for.
Indeed.
Yeah.
If you want to see an interview with him, hear him talking about chess, we had an interview with him yesterday, and it was very
really impressive. Like, he has so many different ideas and strands to his game, and every position reminded him of other different positions.
Yeah, no, very impressive there. So actually, what Keith needs to do now is to draw.
He just needs to draw. So he might, if he's, I guess he will see that this other game has been drawn. So if I were Keith, I might just offer the draw.
Yeah,
I think Keith will take the draw now. Really way too bad. I think he will. I mean,
there's no point there. Just from any point of view, there's no sense in there.
Because all the time, there's always a chance you go wrong, right? Even if you're massively experienced in queen and pawn endings, which Keith is, you're still not guaranteed. So you might as well take the draw.
Yeah, had a good tournament, and yeah, it would be great to wrap this up and claim the British online title. So wow, okay.
Makes no
So,
sense to carry on.
no, indeed. But on the other hand, you know, I think, yeah, I mean, Keith could also decide to carry on for a little while to see what happens, because you know, I have the feeling that that Black's moves haven't been optimal yet. So you know, that might be a reason to carry on. But I don't know whether Keith's trying to calculate this line with Queen B3 at all. I'm not 100% sure about that one. Because the pawn on b5 is weak. You got this pass e pawn, but I'm not 100% sure about it. So yeah, I think if Keith, I don't know whether they're allowed to see results. That's the thing. I don't know whether you're allowed to see what's gone on.
I don't know as well.
I would have thought it would seem a bit. I mean, in a tournament hall, you would see it. So you know,
yeah, we've got a lot of players here in the chat. B22, and we've got Wellfan, who's one of the arbiters. So if anyone knows whether you can actually see people's results, then do say.
Yeah, that would be very interesting. I mean, Keith could also go just checking, just seen it. He could go Queen C7 check takes A5 actually as well.
Yeah, okay. So that then might be,
which is
but
also
even, I don't know.
Yes, they can
see other results. So he is presumably keeping an eye on Mickey's game, and yeah.
Indeed. Should I have a quick look at Amir Abbas Unagi?
Let's see Amir Abbas.
What's happened here? So, actually, Black's turned it all around, and Black's now 2 pawns up here. So, looks like Oliver Stubbs is going to end. You keep it. They're allowed to have chess results up, and you keep it up to date. Okay, thank you very much, Wellfam. So yeah, I mean, this is
results. So I'm going to refresh my chess results, and indeed the draw is there. Freddie Gordon, Mickey Adams, 50-50, very clear.
Okay, fantastic. So yeah, I mean, yeah, this is Black's just 2 pawns up here, so I think this is going to be fairly clear. Also, Amir Abbas has got very little time now, so it's going to be very difficult there for White. Okay, let's go back to Keith's game, and then
just to report that Tashika Aurora did win her game there. We popped in
well done,
a while ago, and Phil Brooks also managed to.
Phil Brooks also won as well. Fantastic! Everything there going as expected. So Keith, thinking.
Yes.
Is this
FIDE rated? Is it FIDE rated? I think it must be ECF online rated. Is it FIDE? Mickey's game was a draw. The Yarborough. Yeah. Do they have online FIDE ratings? You'll know, Matthew.
I don't know. No, I've no idea.
No, I think it's definitely anyway ECF online rated. Does Keith care? Not care. Does he? How closely does he track his ECF online rating? I think the title's going to be worth more to him. Yeah. You can't hear the commentary, the Yarborough. I'm assuming the sound's still working.
Yeah, I mean, if anyone else can't hear it, then give a shout. Yeah. But yeah. Oh, or maybe the Arbor can't actually still fine. Okay, yeah. Maybe the Arbor's in a public place and can't actually have us. Yeah. Thank you, Wilson. Yeah, thank you. So yeah. So I mean, really, we're sort of waiting for. Yeah, I would expect.
We're waiting. I think we're waiting for Keith to notice that Mickey's drawn.
Yeah, I think that's probably the thing. Great. Oh, you have the cricket. You can't hear it.
Oh, great. That sounds nice.
Yeah, lovely. It's
yeah. Okay. So what would Keith do? Keith is probably thinking whether to take that. Oh, he's just going to check around a bit. Keith does only need to draw yes, the Arbor. I'm going to type yes because I'm so considerate and I know you're at the cricket. There we go.
So what is Black going to do here?
Black is going to do something and not run out of time.
Indeed.
That's quite a nice move, isn't it? Not allowing a check. Oh, well, there is a check, actually. Queen C7.
Yeah, Queen C7 is...
then you're just repeating, aren't you?
Yeah, king e6, you're just repeating. So
I'm sure Diamond Knot. You don't think Diamond Knot would be playing for a win? Because now
impossible in this position.
You can't do it. Yeah.
Oh, bad light. Oh.
It is 20 past 9, I suppose.
It's a bit mysterious, really. Keith's spending lots and lots of time.
It is a bit strange, isn't it? Yeah.
It feels like he hasn't noticed that.
Do you think he's got nervous? He could well have got, because like he really wants this title, right?
Yeah.
And he can see it's very close to him. I wonder if he oh no, B22, he's allowed to have chess results open. Wolfhan just confirmed that. But maybe he doesn't realize he is.
Keith Arkle declined a draw.
He's declined a draw, my goodness. Must be Freddie is a very strong player.
A very, very promising junior.
Listen to the interview with him that we did yesterday. And you'll see he's not really, whilst his rating might be 1759, he's way stronger.
So, okay. So queen, yeah. I mean, actually, this is looking really, really good, right? I mean, you're just king d3, and then if black tries to take the pawn in h2, you're going queen b6 takes b7. So I mean, yeah, this is a really, it's a really good ending for white. I mean, Keith completely Keith is completely justified in playing this for a win. It's just. Yeah, but I wouldn't be surprised if he just won this, because I think but okay, we're going to have some checks. Yeah, we're going to have some checks, so not really sure where we should go. King d4 looks the most natural. One check, king c5, king c4. You're just going to play around a little bit, but
so we think this should end a draw as soon as Keith knows.
Yeah, he's declined a draw.
He has declined a draw. Well, you can't know whether Keith knows, if you see what I mean.
Yeah. Okay, but I mean, this is really, this is of course probably winning, although there's a lot of checks now.
Yeah.
I mean, I do hope that. I mean, I do hope that Keith. I don't want Keith to
overplay his hand. Yeah.
I mean, he wouldn't go banana because he knows the draw. Even
if he goes king e4 now, black has queen d5 and then queen f5 mate.
Yeah, I wasn't saying that one. There's also queen c3. There's also king c3, queen e1 check.
Seriously, Keith, you should take a draw at this point.
You should take a draw, Keith.
Trust me on this.
There is no. But what's Keith doing with his time here? 37 seconds.
He's nervous. He's massively nervous. That's what's happening, and that's what I think.
Come on, Keith. Come on, mate. Yeah, in an OTB, Keith would know, of course. Yeah, it's slightly. Yeah. It's slightly trickier with online. That's fine.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Come on, Keith. Have a look at the.
Look at your chess results, Keith.
Chess results, Keith. Come on.
I would play. Could black play b6 now? Would that be any good?
No, then the queen gets back into play.
Okay.
Queen b4, I think, or something, or yeah.
So Diamond Knot should just keep checking.
I'm not checking, but I mean, actually, queen c5 check here. Yeah, I mean, that's a good thing. I mean, you should be able to see, what's going on around you. I mean, that's absolutely absolutely clear. The only thing is that Daminot's a really good blitz player. So
yeah, he is.
So yeah, and Keith hasn't got that much time. Keith's is a good blitz player as well. I mean, we've seen him at the Quarantine League, no problem. But
Howell's saying, David saying, Queen D5 check rather than.
Oh yeah, oh god, yeah, that's true. That is true, actually. That is absolutely true. Yeah, you are absolutely right. Okay, that would almost be better. Simply, just
just get the draw.
But okay, I think here
You better take that damn draw, Keith.
I think King B2 here is just oh, okay. King B2 would have been sensible, I think. King C3. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad.
So there's what checks now? There's not checks. So.
No, it's a bit Queen E4, King D2. Oh, he went Queen G2, but Queen D5 he should have played. That would have been the normal move. Yeah, okay. So Black's played it a little bit off there. So White's going to get his queen back in control. Okay,
so Queen D5 played by An.
Okay, so I think we got Queen B6 check and Queen C7. This is Queen B6 check is just winning, I think. Yeah, it's actually just winning.
Queen C7 played.
What's that about?
I don't know.
Oh, okay, no, it's fine. Queen B5.
Queen takes B5.
Queen C4. He goes Queen C4. That's the idea. Just Queen B6 check. You could get the same thing with, I think, yeah. Or maybe he was afraid of King F5. It's possible. Queen A2. Okay, Queen C4 check now, I think, is just winning. Yeah. Yeah, but this is just winning. Yeah, well, Keith's going to do it in style. Well done, Keith. Thanks, Keith, for giving us all heart attacks, Oh, G4 now. Easy. Yeah. Well done, Keith.
Oh. Well done, Keithy, says Ginger GM.
Indeed. Whew, Keith.
We have a new British Online champion.
Grandmaster Keith Arkle.
Yes. Congratulations, Keith. And fantastically well played by Diamond too.
Yeah, great struggle. Very interesting game. Yay! Well done, Keith.
Well done, Keith. Congratulations. Fantastic. Yeah.
Okay. Jonathan, just at the end you came in. Ha! Well, you were there to witness the moment. So fantastic. Yeah, brilliant.
Okay, so Keith Arkle wins the British Championship with 7.5 out of 9. Fantastic performance, just narrowly ahead of Mickey Adams with 6.5. And Bogdan also with 6.5. So they were equal second. Lots of really good performances. Just want to particularly comment on Freddie Gordon's performance throughout the tournament, including this draw with Mickey tonight. Fantastically talented junior. We've got also very nice performance by Paul Dargan, who played lots of strong players and did very well. Any others you want to comment on, Matthew?
Let's have a look. Well, I think Diamond played pretty well all the way through. That was good. And
well done, Anne.
And I think at times, we saw some great play from some of the junior players. Peshka the Great was in there in the mix all the time. Fighting, drew with Mickey. Drew with Bogdan. So he's obviously a very strong junior as well.
I'd also like to congratulate, just to say, in the women's tournament. We had joint winners there. So Grandmaster Ketty Arakamia Grant and FIDE Master Akshaya Kalialahan won that tournament equally. So fantastic, well played those. Under 18, Yichin Han. Ayan, congratulations also for winning the under 16. Arjun Kalani, the under 14. The under 12, a triple way tie between people We're familiar with Dennis Dupuis, Harry Zheng, and Max Pert. Congratulations, those. And under 10 was Alfred Soulier and Jan Moore. And the over 65s, big well done to Terry Chapman.
Hey.
Over 50s, big well done to Bogdan Lalic. And then the championships itself, huge well done to Grandmaster Keith Arkle.
And I just thinking of one more person, Arjun Kalani played some great.
Yes, he won the under 14s.
And Tactics Monster played some very entertaining games in the championship, which we followed a lot. So again, another very promising junior there.
I do want to also say fantastically well done to the organisers and the arbiters. It's not easy at all running a tournament like this, and they are extremely dedicated, and so well done to them. Thanks also to everybody who played in the tournament and made it really nice like it is. Okay, thanks actually also
chatters as well,
everybody in the chat, because that really makes it as well. Thanks so much for joining in, and okay, thank you everyone very much for watching.